Hi, I'm Kerry Washington, and I'm here to film Life Lessons with Harper's Bazaar UK. I think what I've learned about style over the years is that you can't fake it. To really have your own style, you have to listen to your own gut. You have to have a sense of what you like, because style isn't about what's trending, it's really about what you feel good in, what you feel like represents you, and what you want to walk around in the world looking like. I think my personal style over the years evolves because my style gets influenced by the characters that I play. And then I wind up sort of incorporating them into my personal style. So my style keeps changing through the years as I have the privilege to play all these different women and embody their style. The best piece of fashion advice I've ever been given, it might be from the stylist I'm working with now, Robin Marielle, who I've worked with on and off for years. I love to be event appropriate all the time, but they always say, make it a moment. Make it your moment. They always remind me that any moment is an opportunity for a fashion moment. I think what we wear matters because it's part of how we express who we are in the world. You know, when I'm developing a character, when I'm thinking about portraying a new character, I often think about how they dress and why they dress the way they dress, because how we dress says a lot about who we are and how we walk in the world and how we want other people to perceive us. So what we choose to wear is really important. It's part of our story. I guess through the years, what I've learned about beauty is that it really is an internal job. Like, I have found that for myself, I look and feel most beautiful when I am healthiest and happiest. So I think beauty is really about finding peace and wellness, and then that beauty shines through. It's very personal. Beauty truly is in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is relative, that beauty is individual, that beauty is unique, that beauty is infinite, and that beauty is unexpected at times. I think I feel most beautiful when I am with the people who I love and who I know love me unconditionally. And I feel most beautiful when I'm taking good care of myself, you know, when I'm hydrated and I've had enough sleep and I'm moving my body and eating well. I feel more beautiful. I think because I feel more connected to life as it's supposed to be. I think self-care is really important, and not just because it's become this sort of buzzword catchphrase. It's not for me just about facials and massages and mani-pedis, although I love those things. But self-care is really for me about taking the time to ask myself what I need. Like, caring for myself, to actively care for myself, is to pause and to ask myself, do I need a walk? Do I need a nap? Do I need a hug? Do I need to talk with a really good friend? Do I need to pray and meditate? Like, really making the space and time to ask myself what it is that my soul is needing and then give it to myself. That for me is what self-care looks like. But again, I'll take a mani-pedi any day. I think the most important thing that I've learned about success through the years is that it's very important to define it for yourself. That if I let other people decide what success looks like, then I'm going to be spending my whole life going after somebody else's dreams. I have to ask myself what success looks like for me. And for me, I've learned that what's most important about success is labeling it as something that I can control and achieve. Like, if I put success in the power of other people and say like, oh, I'll be successful when so-and-so gives me an award, or when so-and-so thinks this about me, then I don't really have any agency to decide whether or not I think I'm successful. But when I make success about something that's in my zone of responsibility, like how hard I worked, how nice I was, how faithful I was in the process, those are things that I can control. And so I like to be able to have some say about what success is and whether or not I achieve it. I think the aspect of my career that I find the most rewarding is when I get the sense that something that I have acted in or directed or produced or written allows somebody else to feel less alone. That experience of talking to an audience member or a reader and having them say like, wow, I saw that character and they were me. I saw myself in them. And maybe it's because they look just like me and representation is so powerful, but also maybe it's because they didn't look anything like me, but in watching their story, I realized our shared humanity and learned more about myself. I think that's the greatest gift. The one piece of advice that I would give to somebody just starting out in my industry is if there's anything else that you want to do with your life, you should go do that. Because it's not an easy industry. So if you do it, make sure you really, really want to do it. Make sure your heart is really, really calling you, because creativity is scary and being an artist requires a certain level of risk that if there are other things that call you, do those things. But if your heart really wants to create something and take those bold risks to be an artist, then come join us in our crazy circus. I think that my friends would describe me as hardworking, loving, driven, passionate, creative, curious, and imaginative. I think as I get older, I am learning to be more and more grateful for friendship. And I'm learning how much grace is required in friendship. That for me, in my experience, the best friendships have been the ones where I always know that somebody's doing their best and I don't take their choices personally, and where they give me the same grace, right? That if somebody forgets my birthday, I'm not like, they hate me and they're the worst and why are they trying to do this to me? And, it's more like giving somebody the grace to say, hey, my birthday was last week. I didn't hear from you. Is everything okay? What's going on with you? Right? Like just to know that people really are doing their best. That for me is a big part of what makes friendship work. I need a lot of grace in particular. If you had told me 5 or 6 years ago that I was going to write this memoir filled with very personal reveals and secrets about myself and my family, I would have told you you were absolutely certifiably crazy. So it's been wild to make this choice to share this much of myself and my story and my family's story. But I think the choice has really come from this desire to experience a new kind of freedom in my life, a new kind of liberation. Like, I don't want to hide anymore. And that's not to say that every single element of my life is for public consumption. I'm still not running to put my children on TikTok, much to their disappointment. But I don't have to hide anymore. I get to share the things that I want to share and to not let shame dictate how much of myself I set free. One of the biggest things that I've learned in the process of writing Thicker Than Water, and really in the process leading up to the release of Thicker Than Water, is that love is something that every single one of us deserves. And that a lot of times we think that we need to be somebody other than who we are, or do more, be better, be more successful, thinner, prettier, smarter, in order to receive love. But love is just deserved because you are. Truly, everybody deserves to be loved unconditionally, no matter who you are, where you were born, who you love, what you've done, what you haven't done. You deserve that. You deserve to be loved just as a human being, child of God, person. How do I know when I'm in love? Sometimes for me, love is more of an environment that I live in, and sometimes I think we say it opposite. Like, it's not just that I'm in love with you, it's also that with you, I'm in a space of love. Like, being with you puts me in a state of love. That's part of how I know I'm in love with somebody, because I feel all loved up and lovey and lovelicious and lovable and loving. I think one of the things that empowers me most is my faith, my spiritual practice, because I really do think I have this belief, I heard this a long time ago, that when I want something from God, God has three answers for me. It's either yes, or yes, but not right now, or no, because I have something better in store for you. So having that frame of mind, like believing that there's a force for good in my life, a power greater than me, that's not just doing things to me, but doing things for me. I think that really helps me to walk through the world with more confidence. I think sometimes what people think is confidence for me is actually just faith. It's not about me, it's about trusting in something bigger than me. The best piece of life advice that I've received from another woman, two women. One would be my mom, who always required me to drink water before drinking any other beverage. And that commitment to hydration is something that really stays with me. And I think it is one of the most important actions that I take every day for my health, to be fully hydrated from the inside out. And then my dear friend and Pilates teacher of decades, Erica Bloom, she has really drilled into me in the past few years the importance of getting enough sleep. I was always one of those people who felt like, oh, it's more important to be productive. I'll sleep when I'm dead. I can function on just a little bit of sleep. And she's really helped me to understand that when we say, I'll sleep when I'm dead, we're actually moving ourselves closer and closer to that deadline. Like, sleep is a vital tool to living longer and living a better quality life, and making sure that we're able to stave off a lot of the diseases and disorders that seep in age. So thank you to Mom, and thank you to Erica Bloom. When I think about confidence, sometimes I think confidence can at times be about faking it till you make it. Sometimes confidence is about hearing that voice in my head that says I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, or smart enough, or powerful enough, or successful enough to be in a certain room, and saying, thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to turn the volume down on that voice, and I'm going to walk into the room anyway. And then what I have found throughout my career and my life is that once I take that action of not listening to the doubt and showing up anyway, then I get to learn the lesson that it's true. I am enough. I do deserve to be in that room. I am smart enough and successful enough and worthy enough to be in any room I find myself in. So it's kind of about like faking it till I make it, because then when you fake it and you're there, you get to learn the wisdom that helps you to just know it next time around. So that's all I got. Those are my life lessons. I hope you like them. And if not, go make your own. Find your own. Get your own lessons.